welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis and I post 2 videos a week on a Tuesday and a Thursday at 7 AM. So if you love recipe videos like this one and you want to see more, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And now I'm going to share with you how to make my delicious homemade kombucha. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make my delicious homemade kombucha with coconut sugar or organic pure white sugar. So I've been making this for about 6 weeks now, and I have to say kombucha is absolutely delicious. It's really nice. I normally have it first thing in the morning. Kombucha is a fermented food that is really good for your gut health. Fermented foods are great for gut health, not the stuff that you leave to go mouldy in the fridge, but actually making fermented food is really good for our overall health. You make kombucha with something called a Scooby, which I will explain about later, but it's really easy to make. I didn't think it would be this easy. I was quite surprised at the process, and it is really tasty. The organic white sugar is much sweeter than the coconut sugar though, I do have to say that, and I'll explain about that later in this video as well. But for now, I'm going to be making another batch today, and of course, while I was making it, I thought I'd share the recipe with you. So here is how to make my delicious homemade kombucha. For this recipe, you will need sugar, water, a Scooby and some green tea as well. So for the Scooby, I bought one on the Happy Kombucha website, and I will link that website in the description box below for you. But I also bought another one on Amazon as well. I wanted to try and make kombucha with organic golden sugar, but I also wanted to try and make it with coconut sugar. I have to say that the organic golden sugar is a lot sweeter. Coconut sugar is quite bitter kombucha, but I still really like it. But I think it would be quite an acquired taste. So if you're quite into sugar, if you do have a lot of sugar in your diet, then this one will probably be better for you. But if you're not so keen on sugar and you want to cut it out a little bit, coconut sugar is a good sugar to have in your diet. It kind of slides through the liver slightly easier than ordinary sugar does. So yes, as I was saying, I bought these Scoobies online, that's the word, and a Scooby is a fungus. I'm not sure where it's grown or how it's grown. All I know is it is a fungus, and it helps with the brewing process of the kombucha. So you're going to need one of those, and I will link where I got both of mine from, as I said, in the description box below. I'm going to set the coconut sugar aside because I don't need that. And what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to boil my kettle. So this is quite a small pot, and the pot for the coconut sugar I have is slightly bigger. But I'm only going to be making this one today, but I will share what the coconut sugar one looks like as well. I'll insert a clip of it here actually so you can see it. It's in the airing cupboard at the moment, so it's brewing away nicely. So yes, I'm going to use, I think, probably about a litre for this. Maybe not even a litre, maybe about 800 mils. So I'm just going to fill my kettle like that. And then I'm just going to let this come to the boil now. My kettle has just come to the boil. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about 100 grams of my organic golden cane sugar to my jug. It does say in other instructions to use a jug that you know won't crack or break or anything like that. This is quite tough glass, so I know this won't break, and I've done this several times as well. You can use a plastic jug, but I do prefer to use a glass one just because I don't like the plastic in my food basically. So I'm going to add, as I said, about 800 mils to this, and I'm going to let the hot water dissolve the sugar in this. So I'm just going to fill that up like that. and that should hopefully fill this jar as well. So I'm just going to get a spoon, I won't be a moment. I'm just going to stir the sugar in until it dissolves, and I'm going to leave this hot water and sugar solution to cool down. So when I make green tea, I always like to leave the kettle to cool for a good 15 minutes before I pour it onto the green tea, and I feel like I should do that with kombucha as well. I don't know if this is right or not, but I just think that makes more sense to me. I think the reason you don't do it is the same reason you don't do it to coffee either, is because you will scald the coffee and it will taste different. So yes, as I said, I'm going to leave this to cool down now. It's been about 15 minutes now, and I have weighed out my green tea. So I've weighed out about 8 grams of green tea. It can be anywhere between 6 to 8 grams. So I'm just going to add the green tea into my sugar solution, and I'm going to leave this now to brew and to cool down completely. I left the tea to cool completely, so this is really cold right now, and I have taken my Scooby back out of its hiding place. So when I'm not using it and storing it in the airing cupboard, I generally tend to like to store this in a cool, dark place in my house. So I store it in a cupboard in the kitchen, and it tends to keep quite well in there. And as I said, you can buy a Scooby on Amazon, and what will happen is it will come in a packet, and you just cut the top off and you can pour it into a pot like this. So now I'm going to transfer the tea to the Scooby pot. So I've got myself a funnel, and then I've also got a small colander here that fits perfectly on the top. Anything like this is great. If you just wanted to use a colander, then you could, but I find the funnel helps to direct the tea into the jar. So now I'm just going to pour the tea through the colander and the funnel like so. And I'm going to leave that for a moment or two, just to let it drip out any extras. And as you can see, it's filled it right up to the top, so I've done a really good job at that. Phew, phew. I've grabbed myself a piece of breathable cloth. So this is a muslin cloth I have, and I'm just going to put this over the top of my glass jar. And now I'm going to store this in my airing cupboard for about 7 days. You can store it for longer. After about 14 it will go bad, apparently. I've never done it, so I'm not about to start, but yeah, don't leave it any longer than 14, but 7 days I find is absolutely perfect. You could try it after 3 days if you wanted to. The first batch will be quite sour, I have to say, but the second and third are absolutely delicious. They get sweeter as they go along. So yes, I'm off to store this in the airing cupboard now. I think that's all I want to tell you. So I'll be back in about 7 days. The kombucha has been in the airing cupboard for about a week now. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to decant it into a bottle. To decant the kombucha, I'm going to remove the muslin cloth from the glass jar, and then here I have a glass bottle that I bought in IKEA, I think, and I can link those in the description box below for you. It's one with a flip lid, so it just comes off like that, which is really handy, I have to say. And then I've got myself a plastic funnel, and again I've got myself my small colander, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the kombucha through the colander, and then obviously through the funnel, and then into the glass bottle. But to help the Scooby to stay alive, you have to leave about 1/3 of the jar at the bottom. So 1/3 of the liquid at the bottom of the jar, and this will help these Scoobies to stay alive. So I'm just going to add a little bit more like that. I think that's done. And I have a lid for this glass jar as well, which I will put on, and when I'm not using it I store it in a cool dark place in our cupboard. So yes, that is my kombucha done. I thought I would just share with you the difference between the kombucha made with the organic golden sugar cane and the kombucha made with organic coconut sugar. As you can see, it's a lot darker, and this one, as I said at the beginning, is a lot more bitter than this one is. So if you don't like bitter, then I would suggest you make the golden sugar one, which is absolutely delicious. Eventually I want to add flavourings to these as well, so I'm going to try out a few flavourings with these as well. But for now, I am going to put these into the fridge and I shall be enjoying these with my pills in the morning. That's how you make my delicious homemade kombucha, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be enjoying these with some pills in the morning. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And please feel free to leave any comments below. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon.